what? Sometimes learning isn't just about taking in information. There's a whole psychology to how you learn. And it's all very straightforward, isn't it, to be told when you're a kid at school, well, there's the information, learn it. But how do you learn? And that is key. And what is in this fabulous psychology of learning experiences? Well, actually, you can see the racing cars at the front there, but it will take you to pole position when it comes to learning. So this is a very valuable book on Life for Music, because effectively it is teaching you how to learn and how to imbibe and take in that information right from the get-go.
The psychology of learning experiences is the best advice when learning a musical instrument. Visit lifeformusic.com/books to order.
Hello and welcome to another session of Music Matters with Ev. And I am so pleased for the opportunity to interview someone who has the sweetest of voices, and she's also quite adept at singing in other languages. Welcome, Sophie.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good, yeah. How are you doing?
Yes, not too bad, thank you. Okay, so let's head straight on with the interview. Sophie, when did it all start for you? When did this musical journey start for you?
I think music is just always something that I've been drawn towards, really. And I think when I was younger I loved musicals, I was obsessed with Annie and Oliver and Disney princesses and stuff. So I think I would just always learn those songs. Yeah, and then I think I started writing when I was 4. I remember writing my first song. And yeah, I think that's about it, really. Yeah.
So tell me, what does a 4-year-old write about when you're writing a song?
It was just really generic cliche stuff, really, that I heard everyone else singing about, and that I didn't have experience of.
That's so cool. And do you keep your memoirs of those lyrics and things like that, or have your parents got them?
Yeah, I have most of them. I think I never really forget them either. I remember I wrote one that it was something like, "Tell me that you love me, tell me that you do, tell me that you love me, or I'll give you the flu."
There you have it.
A true poet.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay, so that 4, did you go through your schooling being involved in music as well then?
Yeah, in high school, I played, primary, sorry, I played a lot of different instruments and then quit most of them. And then I think I learned to play guitar when I was 13. My dad taught me because he always played. And yeah, that was the only one that I really properly stuck with.
So when you say other instruments, what other ones did you pick up and then put down?
I think recorder was the first. I think I got kicked out of recorder lesson. What else? Clarinet, I played that. Piano. I still play piano, but very badly now. It's not easy for me anymore. What else? I think.
Did you do the flute or the violin?
No. I used to want to play flute, but I never did. No.
Okay. You were going to say you bought.
What? Sorry.
I thought you were going to say that you bought, or when I was asking about another instrument.
Oh no, I think that's it. I think.
Okay, so the guitar you settled on after your father taught you, and did you begin to perform in school then with the guitar, or did you form a band, or what happened? How did you start to actually become a public performer?
I think my first public performances were because I did like drama school with the church when I was little. And I think it was in like the nativities and stuff like that. And then I would do like small like talent shows. I would just like sing to whoever would listen, basically. Yeah.
That's so cool. And so I met you in a studio in Leeds when you were recording with a friend of ours. You sang in French. How do you get your head around singing in another language?
I think it's not too hard for me to sing in French because it's just quite familiar to me because I grew up there for a few years when I was little and then spent a lot of time there with my family. So at this point, to be honest, I can barely like string a sentence together like talking, but I can pronounce it like roughly. And then my dad speaks French, so I like checked with him before that it's all okay. But I'd never sang in French before meeting Craig actually.
Wow.
And then he asked me, I think it was Besame Mucho, we did that in French first, and then we did Autumn Leaves.
Mm.
So yeah, that was the first time I'd really tried it.
That's awesome. And honestly, you sounded so like you came from France.
Thank you. I don't know if I went to a French person, but that's a good sign then.
And then again, another time you were singing in Spanish, I believe, was it?
Yeah.
Now, where's your Spanish influence from then?
Craig just asked me to sing in Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish at all, so I hope it sounded okay. I checked with my boyfriend's mum teaches Spanish, so I went over it with her first, and she said it was okay, so hopefully it made sense.
So I'm just asking because we know that when you write a song, obviously in English, you make sure that it might rhyme if you want it to or it doesn't. And the diction and the meaning of the words come across when you're singing it. So when you're singing in another language, this is why I'm saying I'm so fascinated by it, because all that has to come into play.
Yeah, I think, yeah, well, I did, like, with French, I can tell, like, roughly what I'm singing about. Yeah, I think that's important, so, like,
Yeah.
so that your heart can be in it and you can express it like it needs to be expressed. Yeah, and then I just, like, yeah, I asked, like, my dad speaks Portuguese as well, so he went through the Spanish one as well with me and, like, explained what everything meant, so yeah.
So
But I guess you don't have to know completely either, like, as long as you get the gist of it, I think you can, like, your heart can still be in it.
So as Craig, what's the next language he's going to ask you to sing in, I wonder?
I don't know.
Probably Russian.
More English, actually. Oh, I hope not.
Okay, so you got used to performing, and obviously having drama experience gets you used to facing crowds or having eyes on you as you do your thing. Where has your performance taken you in terms of your musical and your songs, singer-songwriter element? Where has that taken you?
In terms of like live performances?
Yeah.
I've done a lot of like just like pub gigs and stuff like that. To be honest, like nowhere that is hugely impressive, just mostly pub gigs, weddings. Yeah, that's about it really.
No, that's that. You say nothing impressive, but weddings is very, 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 very difficult. Sometimes can be a challenge, and it's lucrative, but it's also can be very, very nerve-wracking as well, because this is people's special day.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's a mean feat to be able to entertain a crowd at a wedding. And so in terms of recordings and music that you've got out on social media or anything like that, what have you been involved in pre 2020?
I released an EP in 2020. Most of that was recorded before then. Yeah, that's called Leave Our Skins, which is out like pretty much everywhere, like streaming platforms and everything. And then I recorded a single, I think in 2018, but that's the only music that I have out at the moment. But I'm working on an album. I'm not entirely sure when that will be out though.
Okay, all right. So then we have to discuss the inevitable. We look back on it now as inevitable, but at the time it was just, where did this come from? What happened for you musically when 2020 hit? You know, March 2020. What happened for you musically?
I think obviously it's not the most lucrative time for musicians. There's not really, I didn't really make any money from it at the time. But I think, like, looking back for me, like, I needed to be locked down, and to like have less choice maybe. Just because I think it can be like in the modern world in general, it's like overwhelming sometimes, just like the amount of choice we have, like we can do anything, and it's like overwhelming to know where to start. And so it's like it took away like performing, but then I had more energy to get my EP out and do some more writing. So yeah.
So in terms of, you're right, in terms of obviously the music dried up according to public performance, but it's interesting that you said you felt you needed the time. It's almost like you welcomed the rest. And as you said, it gave you opportunity to get on with the stuff that you were probably too busy to do before. I want to ask, did you find yourself doing more songwriting during that time then?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I did write quite a lot during like March, April last year. Yeah.
And were any of the songs topical, or was it just still the sort of same emotions that you normally conjure up when you write?
It wasn't really, I'm trying to think. I think my songwriting process is like a bit messy, and so it's usually like I'll write little bits here and there over the course of like a long period of time, and I think I just like had more energy to like slot them together. And yeah, it wasn't like it was about COVID or anything, the song.
Okay, all right. And what do you see of the foreseeable future in terms of music and performance and things like that? How do you see it?
I think at the moment my main focus is just getting the album out and just finishing off the recordings and the visual stuff and everything for that. Yeah, I think I just kind of focus on one thing at a time, and then hopefully getting back into doing some more live performances and everything. Now that things are starting to open up a bit. Yeah.
Okay. And what advice would you give to anyone thinking of stepping in your shoes and becoming active musically? What advice would you give them?
I don't know, like just do it, I guess. I guess there's so many different like aspects to it. I think just if someone is like making music and they're scared to share it or something, you just have to go for it and know that there's nothing to lose at the end of the day, and that, you know, you might always regret it if you don't. So yeah, you can't live your life in fear. You just have to do things and yeah, live and learn.
Just do it. Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, can we just get some details of where we can find you on the social platforms? So if I can type them in and then they will come up. So do you have a website?
I do, yeah. I've not updated it in a long time, but it's www.sophiebernice.com.
Straightforward. And what about YouTube?
If you type in Sophie Bernice, then it'll come up.
Okay. And Facebook?
That's at S Bernice Music.
So Facebook is at
S Bernice Music.
Bernice Music. And what's the other one? Instagram.
That's same as Facebook. And
Okay.
Twitter. They're all the same.
Okay, good. And you said that you're not sure when the album will be completed, but at least we can keep an eye on your social presence as to what's happening with that.
Yeah.
Okay, the final question. Sophie, if 2020 was a human being, what would you say to him or her?
Oh God. What would I say to them? I don't know. Like, I guess I think I just trust like that it's all like unfolding as it's meant to in one way or another. So I wouldn't be angry. I don't know. I just like nod and I just nod. I just smile. I don't know. I don't really like. I wouldn't have much to say.
Would you sing them a song?
I guess.
That's good. All right. Well, thank you very much for taking a small time out of your day to talk to us and give us a little bit of an insight into yourself and your music. And we'd like to keep in contact with you for, when future things happen, just to keep an eye on your progress. And when the album's out, maybe you can come back and talk about that or anything else that is happening musically for you. We'd like to invite you back because we're just using this platform to just spread the word about different artists and things like that. So if you're okay with that, we would gladly invite you back.
Definitely, yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It's
You're welcome.
great to talk to you.
You're welcome. Okay, well, until next time, take care.